I'm Jay Taylor. I'm here at the backstage of our May 13th Metals Investor Forum, the virtual Metals Investor Forum. I'm here with Ewan Downie, the president and CEO of Premier Gold Mines. This is a company that I've been following for a number of years now. I really believe it's very much an undervalued company. It's got 2 producing mines. It's got something like 3 million ounces of reserves, another 10 million ounces of resources. It's got several projects that have excellent exploration potential, a lot of growth there, and then it has 3 projects that are in the feasibility stage on top of that, plus other earlier stage projects. It's got a very strong balance sheet. It's got lots of cash. It's a story that I think needs to be told, and that's really why I'm really happy to have Ewan with me today. Thanks for joining me, Ewan.
Thanks for having me again, Jay.
You know, you have these 2 producing mines, the Mercedes mine, 100% owned in Mexico. You've got the South Arturo, which you have a 40% interest, and the other 2, Nevada gold mines, which is comprised of Newmont and Barrick. So you've got a 40% interest in that producing mine, 100% in the Mercedes. Given COVID-19, how are things stacking up for this year? What can you tell investors? I'm sure it's put a little bit of a monkey wrench into your plans, but what can you say at this point in time about your expectations for your 2 producing mines this year?
Well, the Nevada mine with Nevada Gold Mines, or the Newmont Barrick joint venture, has continued to operate uninterrupted. So that one is continuing to generate good cash for the company. In Mexico, though, there was a decree by the government to shut down operations. We just put crews back into the operation over the last few days, and there will be a scaled ramp up. So it's not business back to normal. We have to implement new measures because of this, and we can't have full camps right now. So it'll be basically won't be going back to filling the mill immediately. It'll be a scaled ramp up. It'll probably take a number of months in reality.
Yeah. So you'll have some production, hopefully cash flow positive production. I know when you ceased production there, you were really into some pretty rich stuff. I think you were looking forward to producing from. Is that where you'll pick up from, where you left off when you get back into operation at Mercedes?
Yeah, we had a rough first quarter at Mercedes, and last year, though the mine made money, it wasn't a stellar operation for the year compared to the previous couple of years. One of the zones that we were mining, we've now decided that we'll likely not mine a portion of that deposit any longer. It was just a difficult high dilution deposit, and we're going to be focusing more on the higher grade parts of the operation as we restart, which should see, even with lessened production, given the slow scale up, we expect actually to make more money with less ounces. And if that's working well for us, it could be something that continues into the future. But as we restart at Mercedes, the focus will definitely be on cash flow generation versus producing ounces.
And at South Arturo, where you have these 2 major mining companies as your partner, I'm wondering, you know, you can't say as much as you could if it was totally your own project in terms of what the potential is there. But it strikes me as if that has tremendous potential. I mean, first of all, 2 big major mining companies wouldn't be there to divide 60% between the 2 of them unless it was big. That's number 1. Number 2, just looking at the grades and things of some of the numbers that have come out, it's just really outstanding. What can you tell investors? Because I'm quite excited about it, but I don't know that the market is paying attention to it as much as I think it should.
Yeah, I feel in our company, our Nevada assets portfolio, because we have a number of assets there, are truly undervalued. Perhaps because of some of the goings on with our partner at Centerra, or from some of the underperformance we've had at Mercedes, is actually overshadowing the positives that are coming out of the U.S. for us right now. And South Arturo has been a very steady, strong performer. It's the current mine is not a big operation. It's a relatively small underground mine, but it's good grade. It's open for expansion. We're generating at today's gold price about $700 an ounce in positive cash. So it's really been a great operation, and we're permitted to build 2 additional open pits on the property and a heap leach. And we started in 2019, we were stripping one of those pits, but have put that on hold right now as we, I guess the best way to put it is we rebuild what is going to be the future mine plan. So we had some positives come out of last year's program, including positive reconciliation in grade and from drilling one of the pits. And the other one, the one we were stripping, we had a very positive reconciliation in terms of tonnage that was being stripped that was going to go to the heap leach pad that is not yet constructed, but it is stockpiled. So with those changes, we felt that there's the need for additional drilling and planning before we go back to stripping, and hopefully it'll include building a heap leach facility so that we hopefully at least double our production coming out of Nevada in the near term.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's those are the 2 producing projects, and I think that South Arturo is really exciting for the expansion potential. But your biggest project, your biggest deposit anyway, is your 50% owned Greenstone project in Ontario. That's one of 3 projects that are at the feasibility stage. I think Greenstone is probably the most advanced. Can you talk about that a bit? Because I think that is really, I mean, I can't believe that the market is giving you value, even full value, for just that one project. But talk to us a little bit about Greenstone and what its potential is. I know you've done some earlier economic studies. It's a feasibility study now, but what can you tell us about Greenstone?
Greenstone, we completed a feasibility study in 2016. We've done a lot of work since then at enhancing the project. We're currently, we released a new resource in 2019 that showed increased ounces and increased grade. That was based on the back of drilling, pretty major drill campaigns undertaken in 2018, 2019. We're at the point where we're ready to put out a new feasibility study, but we are, I guess our partner has blocked our ability to release that feasibility study, at least temporarily. But truly, Greenstone and the Hard Rock deposit is our flagship project in our company. On a 100% basis, it's over 10 million ounces, the Hard Rock deposit alone. It's shared 50-50 with our partner Centerra. We're fully funded currently on the property. The economics works that was completed for the property only considered the open pit, roughly 6 million ounce open pit. The underground extension of that deposit has not yet been considered and offers significant upside. And 14 kilometers, 15 kilometers down the highway, we have our Key Lake deposit, where intercepts up to 200 grams have been drilled in a narrower vein, high-grade structure. And 75 kilometers down the highway, we have our Brookbank project, where we have completed previously a preliminary economic assessment. We believe both of those projects will ultimately be satellite projects mined at Hard Rock. So the Brookbank, Key Lake, the underground extension are all upsides. So it's a large-scale project. It's now fully permitted. The federal and provincial governments have accepted the EA and EIS documentation. Are all complete. A closure plan is now being accepted by the Ministry of Ontario, and we have agreements in place for all First Nations. So it's essentially a plus 10 million ounce shovel-ready project on the highway in Canada. And not many better places to build a mine than Geraldton, Ontario.
Yeah, it's just incredible. And some of those high grade, on both projects, the high grades you're getting underground, I mean, you're just really basically looking at an open pit operation, but it has underground potential too, perhaps in the future, right?
Yeah, the Hard Rock project, there was close to around 4 million ounces of underground resource. It's not contemplated in the current economic work. Oh. And the last step out hole down plunge that we drilled was 18.5 grams over 20.5 meters. So the project remains wide open at depth. Beautiful.
Okay, one other in the feasibility stage is the McCoy Cove project. What can you tell us? Take a minute or so to tell us about that.
And I think that's another project that's underappreciated in our portfolio. It's I believe it's the highest grade undeveloped plus 1 million ounce gold deposit in the United States right now. I often tell people it's what every junior explorer is looking for, is a cove deposit. And we currently have over 1.6 million ounces in all categories. grade is better than 11 grams per ton. Deposit is open for expansion. Our last step out holes were 10 and 40 grams per ton. So their deposit remains open. And we are permitted to go underground. Most of the resource is currently in the inferred category. We have completed a preliminary economic assessment that was very positive. However, to go to feasibility, we need to do infill drilling. And our view is it's more economic to do the infill drilling from underground rather than doing it from surface, because it's a deeper deposit. It starts at about 600 meters below surface. So it is more economic to put in a decline and drill from underground. So we are permitted to do that, and that'll lead ultimately to a feasibility study. However, with the potential of building hard rock looming, we're permitted to go. So at some point, I believe we'll be building hard rock. And the fact that we could be building a heap leach project with Barrick or Nevada Gold Mines in Nevada, we feel that we're not really prepared to build 3 mines at the same time. So with the partners on the other 2, we have to be ready to go. And since we own 100% of Cove, we can actually put it on the back burner for now, which is what we're doing, just to make sure we don't blow ourselves up financially.
Yeah, sure. Well, you have so many things going on that are positive. I think very exciting, high grade in some cases. Your underground targets. Just wonder, like you're a producer, you're really very unusual, because very unusual. You started out from scratch, basically without any resources, and built this company up into a producer. 2 projects producing, others on the back burner getting ready to produce, and yet we can expect to see some drill results coming out. So I mean, this is like, most people like exploration or they like producers. Here you give us both. What might we expect then? How much drilling are you going to do this year, and might we expect some numbers, some ongoing exploration numbers as well to look forward to?
Yeah, we have a pretty substantial exploration. As I think you know, I'm an explorationist from my background, so truly enjoy exploration, but also feel that exploration is the future of our business. And if we don't do exploration, ultimately we'll run out of ounces. So we're always hunting for more. Across all projects, we'll be doing about 10 million in exploration. There'll be a reasonable sized drill program at South Arturo with Nevada Gold Mines that should generate, we think, some pretty spectacular results. We have about a $2.5 to $3 million exploration program at the Mercedes mine. We are doing some regional exploration, so we hope that we get lucky, find a new deposit in the region like we did last year. We found a new one, and we're drilling that deposit off this year. So there's going to be, we expect a lot of positive results coming out of the San Martin deposit, and also out of the Marianas extension area that we're drilling. In Red Lake, we're currently drilling at Hasaga, our deposit in Red Lake that we don't really talk about that much in our story, but it's what we call our next mine that will do economic, probably PA in the next couple of years. We're just drilling off, we did an open pit resource, now we're drilling off what we expect will be an underground resource. And then at McCoy Cove, we're currently doing a drill program there, really not testing the main deposit area, looking at a few regional targets that we believe have high potential to maybe be additional deposits in the area. So I'd say there'll be a lot of exploration news flowing out of the company here in the second half of the year. Yeah,
really exciting, and we have the wind at our backs with a rising gold price as well, which will help those profit margins there. So. And lots of news coming out. Ewan, anything else you'd like to?
No, I think we hit it all. You talked about our cash balance. We're in good financial shape to continue to grow our business, and I look forward to ultimately a resolution at Hard Rock that'll lead to the development of our flagship project. And thanks for your time again, and always good to talk to you. Yeah,
that resolution of that situation, I think, would send your stock soaring very quickly, I believe, when people start to focus on that. Ewan, thank you so much for your time. It's great. This is a really great story. I checked, it's about a $330 million US market cap right now, which in my way of thinking is just kind of outrageous compared to all you have going. So thank you so much for sharing this with our viewers.
All right. Thanks, Jay, and I'll talk to you soon.